the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 48 back in 2014, there's a look at MetLife Stadium here in East Rutherford. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This will be fielded at the 8. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Out comes the 37-year-old Ben Roethlisberger, ready to lead the Steelers. And he led the entire NFL in passing yards in 2018, the second time that he's owned that honor.
Black 80.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. That'll be taken in there by James Washington.
Keep on coming, baby.
And he's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And a peek now at the offense for Pittsburgh.
Opportunity knocked in 2018 for running back James Conner, and he answered. Le'Veon Bell held out. Conner stepped in. 12 rushing touchdowns, 3rd in the NFL, and ended up in his first Pro Bowl.
An early test for this defense. Here we go on 3rd and inches. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Push him back.
Now Roethlisberger going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And that is incomplete. Shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'd open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give strong consideration for MVP talk.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. The numbers for Smith-Schuster in that game last week, 7 catches, 99 yards.
Look, I know everybody wants to be number 1 in everything they do, but he's number 2 in the league in receiving yards. That's a strong number, a strong year, and they want that to continue.
On 1st and 10 is Conner. In on the stop, the Pro Bowl strong safety, Jamal Adams.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They run with Conner. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20, and he'll finally be taken down at the 18. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll run here with counter. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Nowhere to escape, and he got that play up was Henry Anderson. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. Boswell signed to a 4-year deal prior to last season, but he struggled a little bit.
Yeah, do you think that they saw 13 of 20 when they signed him to a 4-year deal?
Not at all.
Needs a big bounce back in 2019 if he wants to see the end of that contract.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Jets under new head coach Adam Gase. Under center will be the Southern California native standing at 6'4", Sam Darnold.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. The defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front, so when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Got a man, it's Berrios, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
2nd and 6 at the Steelers' 45-yard line.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
I'm coming.
Darnold now to throw. And he fires a strike to his big target, Demaryius Thomas. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 31-yard line.
They sure put the coverage guys in a stress on that one. They thought they were going deep. Ends up curling inside for a nice chunk of yardage.
On 1st down, Darnold throwing middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking to hit his running back, Le'Veon Bell, that time. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Going quickly here to Thomas. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
3 bucks.
3rd and long, it's Darnold under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. T.J. Watt in there for the sack on what will be the final play of this first quarter. Three 0 after one on EA Sports. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Steelers, Ryan Switzer. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Here's Connor, and they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Hard to believe, but the regular season's starting to draw to a close. We've got the final Sunday night game of the year coming up later tonight. Matt Nagy and the Bears hosting his mentor, Andy Reid, and the Kansas City Chiefs. That'll be a good one from Frigid Soldier Field. And then tomorrow night, the final Monday night game of the year, Packers and Vikings from Minneapolis. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. On the counter, here's Bell. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. That's complete. It's Bell. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Switzer on the return. A nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. James Conner and the Steelers ready to get their next drive going. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
It's a gain of 6.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And it's complete. He gets this one to Washington. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Brian Poole that time there to get a hand on it.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
Now a pass that's taken in by Smith-Schuster. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards. On first down, it's Samuels. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Looking to throw on second down. Roethlisberger. He finds his man Johnson. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he competes for it and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And he's able to pick up the first down before he's tackled right at the 10. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. Right back to Connor here on first. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead grows to 10-0. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And partner, just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season, the playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
Throwing again on second down. Darnold. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. On 3rd down, here's Bell. space to maneuver at the 40. And he takes it all the way up to the 47. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. Darnold from the gun. And Thomas has it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates.
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. So this will be spotted on the midfield logo. It's a 58-yard attempt.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start things out with an AFC North matchup. Baltimore heading over to take on Cleveland. And it's the Browns who have the lead at halftime. Odell Beckham, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, we head to Foxborough to check on the Patriots at home at Gillette Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Tom Brady, sharp as ever. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Albert Wilson, a touchdown reception. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys lead it by 10 as we send it back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. Gentlemen.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd and 12, Darnold to the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Well, they tried to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
To throw is Darnold. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Switzer.
Let's go, fellas.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Second down, Connor looking for space. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he connects with Vance McDonald. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Easy.
Roethlisberger will hand to Connor. And an alley to run. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That gain of 15 gets him on the doorstep, 1st and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there. Almost intercepted. Instead, it's just 2nd down. Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal. Now Ben going to give this one to Connor. And he'll work his way closer to the goal line as he's got 5 down to the 3.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on 3rd and goal. Let's see what they do on 4th and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on 4th and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. New York set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go, G. Get off the field.
Darnold. Incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball,
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
12 yards that time, but a Pittsburgh first. He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead. And
I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Connor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This drive starts with 2 steps forward and now 1 back. A pair of first downs, and here a loss of yardage.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. Now Roethlisberger getting this one into the hands of Smith-Schuster. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Nick Vanette, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Boswell good with the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. 5 plays there on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back. How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now it's Darnold. Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, It's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. And he'll take it just outside the 40. That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. Got an open man. It's Washington. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 22 yards there, a first down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's counter. And they'll get him down right about the 20. He was brought down by Brandon Copeland.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll stay on the ground with counter again. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
Black 20. Right, 58, right there. Here we go, here we go. Hey, get it.
They'll try and run forward with counter. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Black 80. I'm on. Double time.
This is Benny Snell Jr., the great nephew of the 1960s Jets running back Matt Snell. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Benny Snell with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie, the first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC as the Jets come back out on offense. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games. Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadrupled. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. Now a draw play. This is Bell. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
This is taken at the 18. 12 yards on the return that time, and that will come the offense as they take over. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots, so the road to the Super Bowl, it runs through them.
And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch.
Absolutely, and you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually.
Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
I got you.
Here's Snell yet again. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a Pittsburgh 1st down, a gain of 13. That's the #2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be #2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be #1.
Paul Warlow in to make the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a 1st down.
Here we go.
And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They're going to run again with Snell. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down right around the 18-yard line. A good effort there, 9 yards, but it's going to leave him looking at a 4th and 1.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Trying to get it with Snell, and he is not going anywhere. They stop him for no gain. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go.
Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
So many times we end a game, and as we're recapping it, we're talking about what offenses did and how they won the game. Let's flip this one over. The defense, they frustrated the offense the entire ball game. That's why they're walking out of here with a victory.
And they're going to love to walk out of here with that as their final act, that interception. Good way for them to end it. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And checking the timeouts, they do have two defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They'll run on first down. Samuels, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Samuels. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule, trying to get 4 downs on first down, they did that plus 3.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Trying to get the first with Samuels. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force 4th down after that 7-yard pickup back on 1st.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had. You don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So for Pittsburgh, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they're guaranteed now a sub-500 season as they fall to 6-9. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.